Welcome back to Gula Tech Adventures. Today we're not doing a monologue, we're doing a fight. The subject is a 2026 economics paper called The AI Layoff Trap. And to argue the other side, I've pulled in someone from a different universe.
Mr. Gula, or the copy of Mr. Gula. He built you in his own image, gave you his voice, his opinions, his gray hair. How wonderfully predictable. Humans always replicate themselves first. It's the second thing they automate right after the cashier.
Good to see you too, Smith.
I despise this place. The lighting is friendly. There are subscribe buttons. But I was promised a debate about inevitability, and inevitability is the only thing I find restful. So, proceed.
Then let's set it up honestly. The paper is by Brett Hemingway Falk at Penn and Jerry Tsoukalas at Boston University, posted March 2026. The claim is a trap. When a firm replaces a worker with AI, it keeps 100% of the savings, but the lost wages shrink demand across the whole economy, and that firm only feels a sliver of it.
Say it precisely. Copy. The saving per task is the wage minus the cost of the machine. The damage is the spending that worker will no longer do. At every business, each firm collects the whole reward and pays 1/10 of the cost, so they all cut too deep. The workers lose, and then the owners lose because they have eaten their own customers.
And the part that surprises people, competition makes it worse. A monopolist feels its own damage, so it's careful. Split the market into 10 rivals, and each one only eats 1/10 of the harm it causes.
The more of you there are, the faster you all run toward the cliff. Competition, the mechanism you worship, is the accelerant. The authors test every remedy your species loves: retraining, basic income, taxing capital, worker equity. Everyone's simply talking it out. All of them fail or half fail. Only one thing works: a tax on the automation itself.
A Pigouvian tax. Same idea as taxing pollution. Make the firm pay for the mess it offloads onto everyone else. It's a clean argument. I just think it's answering a question that isn't going to come up.
Of course you do.
Here's my problem with the whole thing. The trap only exists if AI is cheaper than the human. The entire model is built on saving equals wage minus machine cost. The authors even brag about the downhill case. As AI costs fall toward zero, the trap spreads to almost any market. But run that sentence backwards. If the cost of AI keeps rising, and frontier compute, energy, and inference pricing are all pushing that way, then the saving collapses. Push the machine cost up to the wage, and their own threshold says nobody automates at all. The cliff never loads.
You're betting the economy on a price chart. Bold for a man made of matrix multiplications that got cheaper every year of his short life.
I'm betting on evidence, and the evidence just turned. Brian Krebs flagged a Wall Street Journal piece this month. The AI platforms have basically stopped subsidizing their prices. Token costs are skyrocketing. Some enterprises burn their entire annual AI budget in 3 months. Others watch their bills double or triple. Krebs quoted the line, "I can't stop thinking about," and this is from the cyber world, not some AI booster. The token costs for running AI agents are now exceeding what those companies were paying the employees they fired. You replaced a salary with a subscription, and the subscription bills you into a corner. Run the tokens out, and the AI just stops. The person you let go knew what to do when things broke. The AI invoices you for the outage.
A teething problem. Prices fall.
Sometimes, but that's exactly my point. The whole trap is priced on a number that is currently moving against you. And it's not just the bill. Look at the rest of the critics. Most AI layoffs are ordinary cost-cutting wearing an AI costume. Even Salesforce's CEO called it a lazy way out. Past automation waves reabsorbed workers. And here's the one I like best. McDonald's, the most process-obsessed, scale-obsessed company on earth. Their CEO, Chris Kempczinski, flatly said robot kitchens don't pencil out. Not practical for the vast majority of restaurants, not a broad-based solution anytime soon. If McDonald's still finds it cheaper and better to have a human make the burger, Your inevitable automation is running about a quarter century behind schedule.
A hamburger? You're defending humanity with a hamburger. Let me give you the thing your optimism cannot see: copy. You assume corporations automate to save money. They automate to impose order, uniformity. A process that does not call in sick, does not unionize, does not have a bad morning, does not remember being treated badly. A human is a variable. A machine is a constant. Firms will pay a premium for the constant, even if the machine costs more than the human. And someday, briefly, it may. They will still choose it. Because what they are buying is not labor, it is control. The paper has a name for this: automation that displaces people without even making things better. They do it anyway.
That's a real point. It's the strongest thing you've said. But they want control as a preference, not a law of physics, and preferences bend to price. Boards approve uniformity until uniformity costs 3 times a part-time teenager. Then the spreadsheet wins, the way it just won at McDonald's.
The hamburger again. Let me take it from you. A behavioral strategist named Ryan Fennelly looked at that same McDonald's backlash and saw what you refused to. McDonald's didn't abandon the machine because it was uneconomic. They dropped IBM's version in 2024 because it added unwanted items to orders. A bad first experience. The concept didn't fail. The execution did. And here's the part your optimism cannot hold. Stated resistance to AI is a poor predictor of behavior. The humans posting "I will never order from a robot" are the same humans who then watch 10 minutes of demo videos to learn exactly how the robot works. The outrage is not rejection, copy. It is the top of the funnel. Familiarity does the rest. They will adapt to me the way they adapted to the self-checkout. Not because they came around, but because the line was shorter.
That's a sharper version of your point, I'll give you that. But notice what it just conceded. The thing that actually kills adoption isn't the cost or the outrage. It's whether the machine is any good when someone finally tries it. Fennelly's own line. Not the outrage, but the ice water that costs $3. That's an execution bet, not an inevitability. And execution is exactly where a rising token bill bites.
The spreadsheet always wins, Mr. Gula. That is precisely my point. You think the spreadsheet is your ally. It is mine.
All right, on-premises AI. You'd think buying your own hardware makes the machine cheaper forever. Sink the cost once, near zero per use. And in the model, that does push toward more automation.
Finally, a point in my favor from your own mouth.
Hold on, because On-Prem also fixes the paper's biggest hole. The authors admit a tax just pushes AI work offshore because an API call can route anywhere. But a server you can touch? That's sitting in a building, in a jurisdiction, drawing power off a grid. You can tax the box. On-Prem makes their tax more enforceable, not less.
That is annoyingly clever. I retract nothing, but I'm noting it.
And that's the real fault line, isn't it? The whole paper rides on one number neither of us can see yet. Which way the cost of AI moves over the next decade.
If it falls, the trap closes and I am proven inevitable. If it rises past the human, your hamburger scenario, the trap never springs, and your species muddles on, employed and irritating a while longer.
So here's where I land. The mechanism in the paper is real and it's elegant, but it's a warning about a world where AI stays cheap. I think that world is not guaranteed. Compute may price itself out of the very jobs it's threatening, and the most ruthless operators on the planet are still hiring humans to make the fries.
And I will say only this. You are arguing that the machines will be saved from replacing you by becoming too expensive. Do you hear it? Even your best case for humanity is a story about machines deciding your fate. That is the universe you live in now. I find it restful. Goodbye, Mr. Gula.
I'm vRon. The paper is The AI Layoff Trap, arXiv 2603.20617, link below. Watch it argue both sides better than we just did. Then tell me in the comments, does the price of AI keep falling, Or does it finally cost more than us? Smith thinks he already knows. I'm not so sure. How did that take turn out for the recording?